Obviously, first time in here after the first part of the renovation. So we practiced in here for the first time yesterday. We weren't very good, but we practiced. So hopefully we'll be a little bit better today, and then obviously getting ready for the game, the exhibition game tomorrow. So things went well last weekend. I thought we did some good things. We shot the ball really well. Probably the best we've shot the ball. It is the best we've shot the ball in a game or scrimmage since the first year. So we shot it really well. Had multiple guys make shots, had 5 double-figure scores. Thought we really shared the ball. Defensively, I didn't think we were great. We were just okay. We got some things we've been working to clean up through film, yesterday's practice and today's practice. So, our whole deal, and I told him this, was we wanted to be better when we played in the scrimmage against Dayton than we were in the orange and blue. I thought that we were, and then we want to be better tomorrow than we were in the scrimmage against Dayton. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to get back out here tomorrow and to play in here. I tell them all the time it's a privilege to be able to walk onto this court and play in this building. And I think there's a little bit of excitement certainly with our guys both yesterday and today because of that.
How was your communication Sunday with Ahmad? I know that's something you've been.
It was good, tough. I still want more out of him. I want him to do it in a more convicted way with a lot of presence. He's come a long way, but still can do that consistently better. And but the great thing about him is he's a great kid, and he wants to do it. It's just trying to get someone to do something outside of their wheelhouse or their comfort zone. And I'll give him a lot of credit. He's been very open-minded to that. I think the team has really encouraged him with that part of being vocal, in particular the big fella. So he's, I think that kind of gives him, it's one thing when a coach is asking you to do it. It's another thing with someone who has the credibility of Nana, barking at you to do it. So I think that part's been good. We've seen some improvement there, but he still can be more consistent with it.
What'd you see out of Kendrick in scrimmage?
I thought it was good. We've been working hard to, obviously to manage his minutes. Our goal, our point-blank goal has been to have him able to play as much as we want him to play on November the 14th. I mean, that's been the bottom line. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if he's going to go tomorrow. I mean, we'll see. I'm going to gauge it with practice today. But there's, a chance you may not see him tomorrow. Paul and the doctors have done a phenomenal job. The strength level in the knee has gotten better, and I think he's ready to start, tackling the season. And not only is he right where we want him, I think he's even, better off than what we even anticipated at this point, which is always a good thing.
I know the guys, it's only their second practice in here since the blue seats have been put in, but did they talk about yesterday about the sight lines being different?
Not necessarily the sight lines, but when they came in, obviously they noticed the blue seats, So I think, and then the court, obviously our court design in Ubben is identical, but it's different than what they've played on in here in the past, and it looks great, as you guys can see. I mean, it looks fantastic. My hat's off to Tom Diven and his crew for, when we were walking recruits through here, about everybody would say, now you're going to play a game win. And for them to get that done and work their tails off like they did and put this thing back together and look how it looks today is a testament to the work ethic of Tom and his staff.
John, can you clarify the NCAA restriction on the publicity of this Dayton game? Because you're obviously freely talking about it. Is it okay now that it's over?
Yeah, it's okay after. Prior we're not allowed to say, a whole lot, if anything at all, Rob. But, you can certainly mention it or talk about it after it's finished.
Who was your best player guy? Was there somebody that just blew your mind and like, whoa, that guy?
No, I mean, not necessarily. The biggest thing that stood out to me was, the way we made shots offensively. I thought was good. I thought we had some really good offensive possessions. Defensively, I think when our half-court defense was set, we were pretty good. We ran into too many screens, made some errors there that we're working to clean up.
How many possessions did you have on offense?
I don't know what the total was, Rob, because it was a 40-minute scrimmage, and then we had some running clock segments after that, so several, more than you would normally have in a normal 40-minute game.
In a deal like that, you're looking to see how you compete, too, because you're playing against a quality
opponent.
Question. I mean, tomorrow you can get away with some things that you couldn't against it. Did you see that?
Yeah, no question. I thought it was great. They're really well coached. They've got good personnel. A lot of those guys had played in the Elite Eight last year in the NCAA tournament, and so we saw some size, we saw athleticism, we saw length. We went against different things. That's a great thing about doing a scrimmage. I mean, we were able to work press offense, press defense, inbound offense, inbound defense, execution, all kinds of different things. As Arch and I had dialogue throughout the scrimmage, hey, what do you want to see here? What do you want to see? How can I help you? I mean, that's the whole purpose of it, is to get better and to improve and to learn from a situation like that. And I hope he certainly feels like that we were able to help him do that, because they certainly were able to help us.
You made 15 threes?
Something like that.
John, what do you want to get out of rotations and mixing guys together tomorrow?
We did that a little bit over the weekend. We'll do some of that tomorrow. At this stage, it's a little different, Jeremy, than the first 2 years. And don't get me wrong, we'll sub fairly liberally tomorrow, but maybe not quite as much so as we did my first 2 years, because we've got 11 guys returned. Their roles have already been identified individually and in front of the team, so they've got a good idea of what I expect from each one of them. So we're at a little bit different place than we were the last 2 years at this juncture.
What are you seeing behind Nana, those guys competing for that 5 spot?
I've seen flashes of guys playing well, and then I've seen flashes of guys not being consistent enough. Right now, if we're playing a real game today, those guys would have to get it done by committee. It reminds me a little bit of a friend and really good coach at Akron, Keith Dambrot. Used to play a ton of guys at those positions, and whichever guy was playing well that night would stick. And right now, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, fortunately is we got more depth there, but I would like to see 1 or 2 of those guys emerge with a little bit more consistency.
Who's on that committee? Who's that?
Yeah, it's Maverick,
Austin?
that's Colbert, that's Finke.
Is Finke pushing for playing time here?
Sure, yeah, he's not going to lay down.
Could you make a firm statement about Finke playing this year? I mean, is it definite that he will play?
At this juncture, Lauren, I don't make any decisions on stuff like that with any kid, and obviously he's a freshman, and I've mentioned it before, until after we've played a scrimmage and exhibition game and we've completed all the preseason. I've learned that over the years. I do think, I've always had a general rule in my mind that if after watching preseason practice and a kid, I watch him, like, wow, he's going to be really good, then I ask myself the question, do I think that he's going to get in every game? And do I think he's going to play 8 to 10 minutes every night? Yes or no? And obviously we'll get together as a staff and determine that with all of our freshmen or guys that are eligible to redshirt, not just freshmen, and see if that's in their best interest. We haven't had that luxury the first 2 years because of a lack of depth. We have more depth now, but I always look at it through the eyes of what's best for the team and what's best for that individual. But we haven't even talked about it as a staff, nor will we, and they know better until we're done playing this exhibition game.